initial days of sepsis seminar, and others I'm not able to recognize.
Yes. Pari ma'am?
Yes. Yeah.
We can start off now.
Yeah. So very warm good evening to everyone, to all the participants who have joined this session, the guests, people from different walks of life, people who are planning to get pregnant, people who are newly married, the couples who are newly married, couples who are planning to have a pregnancy shortly, those who are pregnant, and parents and grandparents of children 0 to 2 years of age, healthcare personnel, and volunteers. And of course, the teams from 3 different organizations who have all put in their hearts and heads and hands into making this, into taking this venture forward. A very, very warm welcome to all of you. And let's get this wonderful evening started Yes, before we go further, I would like to, clarify some points. First and foremost, make sure that, your phones are on the silent mode and that you will not be disturbed for some time. And for the information of everyone, this is only an awareness or a curtain raiser program on what is to follow over the next couple of months. So all the topics by all the speakers would be covered in a very brief fashion. It's just like a tasting session. So each speaker will be speaking just for about 5 minutes, and then giving you'll have a summary or the key points that need to be taken home and dwelt upon. So, and we go from one speaker to the other. And after this will be the interactive session. So please note down your thoughts, your suggestions, your feedback, your questions, all to be handled at the end of the session. We are running very short of time and it's a tightly packed program. So let's get going. And before we go further, let us all join this session, start this session with a very prayerful suggestion. I request everyone to sit comfortably with their eyes closed for a few minutes. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Take a deep, slow breath in and a deep, slower breath out. Feel the energy there. Go deep inside. Make the suggestion that the purpose which you are attending this session is achieved for you for today and for always. and through you for all the people who will be coming in contact with you now and always. With hearts full of joy, love, and gratitude, let us all open our eyes and come back to the present. So, a very warm good evening to all attendees. A very special welcome and thanks to the 3 non-governmental organizations that have put this program together. So this program is being organized by the Genome Foundation, a non-governmental organization, which is a Ministry of Science and Technology recognized DSIR facility, recognized by the Telangana State M&H Department. It's an approved P&D testing lab, partnerships with the Banaras Hindu University, with the CDFT, with the FABA, the Federation of Biotechnology Association, with TSCS, with Truth Labs, with KIMS Hospitals, and the Nizam's Institute of Medical Sciences. So we have with us members of the Genome Foundation who have all contributed with heart and soul in getting this program together. We also have the Telangana, the Pediatric Academy of the Telangana State, a part of the IAP of Telangana State, which is the backbone of this program. All the speakers, the panelists are from PATS, and most especially from Mission Laksha. So we welcome the team from PATS and Mission Laksha. We also welcome the team from the Heartfulness Institute, who have been equal shareholders in terms of responsibility and putting in resources and getting this program going. Thank you all very much. At the outset, I would like to request Dr. KPC Gandhi to say a few words of welcome to all the dignitaries who gathered here.
Good evening, everyone. And welcome you all to this webinar on the power of first 1,000 days of life, being organized by Genome Foundation in collaboration with Pediatric Academy of Telangana and Heartfulness Institute, India. As head of the Genome Foundation, a non-profit company founded by international reputed scientists and medical professionals like late Dr. Lalji Singh, late Dr. P.M. Bhargava, and late Dr. Kakal Subrao, who passed away in the recent past. And now being the co-founder, the onus fell on me to run the organization, and the chairman, Dr. C. Rangarajan, former governor of AP State and RBI, who supports me in this national professional responsibility, along with many well-meaning scientists and medical professionals who joined me in these volunteer efforts, along with their support. Now, on behalf of Genome Foundation, I also thank the co-organizers, especially Dr. Surendra Nath and his team, Dr. Himabindu and her team, and Dr. Sairam and his team for coming together in this unique program which provide us a long-lasting opportunity to lay foundations to the process of nurturing healthy children, mothers and parents through a series of initiatives starting with this first seminar, which is crucial and important to build more healthier, equitable future of our children, women, families, societies, and the nation as a whole. Genome Foundation is committed to extend affordable services accessible to all in its endeavors to map rare genetic diseases amongst children and mothers, and also in other disease-stricken patients through genetic screening, diagnostics, therapeutics, counseling, consultancy, training, and research through a host of collaborating institutions and individual physicians of various specialties. And I'm looking forward to a continuing dialogue and relations with more than 1,600 participants who are now participating in this maiden virtual meeting along with the co-organizers. And I also thank, on behalf of Genome Foundation, all the participants who have joined and by our own organizers of Genome Foundation, Telangana Pediatric Association and Heartfulness India. Thank you all. Looking forward to a very, very, very useful dialogue and deliberation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Gandhi. I would now like to welcome Dr. Surendranath and ask him to say a few words on the program.
Sir, I think is not there, ma'am.
So would you, Pawan?
Yes. Yes. On behalf of Pediatric Academy of Telangana State, which is a 1800 member pediatricians member body of the Telangana State. So I all welcome you all for this wonderful session on power of first 1,000 days. There is a famous saying, every challenge, every adversity within it contains the seeds of opportunity and growth. So befitting in today's time and future ahead. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed and will change the way we live, the new normal, which we are used to. And the parents who have realized the importance of this power of first 1,000 days, they have a tremendous role, especially during these COVID times, where all the family members, including grandparents, they're all at home with the baby who needs them the most. So in the busy life, pre-COVID era, I think where both parents are busy working and the child was left to maid, we have seen so many baby emotional disorders and many behavioral disorders coming up. So with this intent, the power of first 1,000 days, the Mission Lakshya team of Pediatric Academy of Telangana State has carved a program, a wonderful program, wherein it covers right from the conception to first 2 years of life, which forms a strong foundation for a growing child. So I wish all the success for this wonderful endeavor by PATS, Genome Foundation and Heartfulness. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Pawan. Dr. Pawan is the Secretary of the Pediatric Academy of Telangana State. I would now like to request Dr. P. Sairam. He said he might not be able to attend. Dr. Sairam, are you present?
Sirisha, is Dr. Sairam not there?
He has another meeting. He said if that gets over early, he'll be able to attend.
Yes.
So on behalf of Dr. Sairam, I would like to give a short introduction to the Heartfulness Institute and how. So the Heartfulness Institute is a body that is part of the Sahaj Spirituality Foundation, which is the social service wing of the Sri Ramchandra Mission, which was established in 1945 with the purpose of teaching universally the methods of meditation worldwide. So it has a presence in over 190 countries with over 13,000 trainers globally And these trainers and the millions of practitioners globally, they come from all walks of life, all backgrounds, socio-cultural, ethnic, religious, professional backgrounds. And trainers do come from all backgrounds. So we have heads of nations, we have illiterate farmers, housewives, students, corporate leaders, all trainers from different backgrounds. So they carry the message of the heartfulness way of living, which essentially incorporates a few skills and techniques in being able to handle the day-to-day stresses of life better, going on to providing a coherence and alignment between the body, the mind, the heart, and soul, and with the purpose of the evolution of our consciousness, so that we evolve from being animal human beings to human beings to divine human beings. So all of us, we are somewhere on this wide spectrum of, passage. So with that in mind, the Heartfulness Institute has been conducting a series of programs, initiatives in all fields of life, from educational institutes to villages to, health and well-being. There's a very massive COVID care program going on right now. Then wellness programs, corporate training, I mean, all walks of life, there are connects. They go as C Connect, We Connect, and so on. You Connect is the University Connect. So for those who are interested in knowing more about this, I would advise you all to go to the website www.heartfulness.org. There's a wonderful magazine there that caters to a number of topics. Please, browse through the magazine as and when you get the time. There's a wonderful app too, YouTube channels. So it has a very large, very active presence on the media, on the digital platform. So please go and look that up. So this venture today is, by the collaboration of the Genome Foundation, the PATS, and the Heartfulness Institute. On behalf of the Heartfulness Institute and all the volunteers here, I welcome every single attendee to this session. Thank you all so much. So,
Ma'am, Dr. Himabindu Singh, ma'am, Program Director is here.
Yes, the Mission Laksha Program Director, Dr. Himabindu Singh, she is here. I think we'll ask Dr. Himabindu, the icing on the cake is at the end. So let's save the icing on the cake for the end, Dr. Because that will be the best part. She will give the wrap up for this program, the origins and how to take it forward. So without further ado, let's get to the crux of the session. Now, what is this 1,000 days? What is the importance of 1,000 days? And weren't these 1,000 days there before? Why suddenly is this new jargon coming up? So, Dr. Pawan, can you throw some light on this?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. The first 1,000 of life, like first 1,000 days of, it's like I can say it's a human life. Every human being on this planet, they have the first origin, like. So every seed which has a great potential to become a huge banyan tree, when it is nurtured by a sufficient light and all the manure, air, everything, so it has to grow in that. Every seed has that potential, but it has to be nurtured properly. So similarly, the human being in the first 1,000 days of life, if properly nurtured through proper nutrition and neurostimulation in a nurturing environment, what I call is the power of 3. I think the human being can reach his full maximum potential. And unfortunately, our country, we are not reaching that potential. Only 43% of the people are able to reach their full potential. And the growth part, if you see, there is a survey, where are the children not growing well across the globe? And our country is on red dot. I think we are not, it's not acceptable for us. And the pediatricians have a great role to play here. And we are going to see right from the conception, the first 1,000 days spans from right from the conception to first 1,000 days. It forms the very crucial window of opportunity. Why I'm saying the window of opportunities is once the window closes, it closes for life. And it has a great opportunity. Most of us don't know. Even the doctors, I'm saying, they don't know the importance of this first 1,000 days. And we are losing on the critical period of the entire life. I think I'll show you a small video which will give you the entire crux of why this first 1,000 days of life. I'll request all of you to pay attention to this video. So dear friends, it is we, the human beings, have the great potential. By investing in first 1,000 days, we can create a great wonders in this area. So if you see the statistics, our country is not doing very good. I will tell you the stunting. Stunting means a low height for that age. It is the representative of chronic malnutrition in children. So stunting is the devastating result of malnutrition in utero and early life, and its impact is forever. And it is not only have the children will be having a stunt, not only have the stunted bodies, but also stunted minds, and they live their life as a stunted lives. So this is the impact, and their earning potential and learning potential both will go away. And currently in our country, we have 38% of the children who are born under 5, they're all stunted. So that is less height for age. And we also have a hidden hunger called anemia. So that represents around 58% of our children are anemic. So we are in a grave situation, but hope is there. If all such programs are conducted and we are all united together, we can change the statistics like anything. Even the current Telangana statistics in 2015-16, the stunted children population is 28% only. But in the recent NFHS 5, that is National Family Health Survey, a 5 recent 2019 and 20, which says that it has increased, the stunting population has increased to 31%, almost a 31-32%. So 5% increase, we are not doing good there. So dear friends, I request you all to join hand in this to empower the mothers who are planning for pregnancy and those who are pregnant women, and especially the critical window of opportunity during the first 1,000 days of years of the child. Once he is born up to 2 years is a critical window of opportunity. So stunting as the irreversible changes. Why we are saying is stunting you can correct only up to 2 years. Once that 2 years window has gone, even if you spend lakhs and crores also, you can't change that person. So that is the power of this first 1,000 days. So let us not miss that opportunity. So Pari ma'am.
Yes. Thank you.
And there are interventions. I would like to tell you, there are high quality and they are proven high impact interventions are there. Just remember only 3 things: the power of nutrition, the power of neurostimulation in a nurturing and caring environment. If you remember these 3 things, And I think these three are all, they are not very they're not very costly things. And we don't need to invent a new drug, new vaccine to do this program. I think every parent, if they take care of this first 1,000 days, I think it's a very great investment. The return on investment is the highest, I'm telling you. For every dollar spent on a newborn child or prenatal programs, I think the return on investment is almost $35. Nowhere you will get that return on investment. And this is going to shape the future of the nation, who is the child. And we pediatricians have a great responsibility, because we are the people who are taking care of the child right from the birth till the 2 years. The critical window, 730 days, is in our hands. And the another critical window, that is 270 days, are in the hands of the obstetricians. So if we all do as a catalyst, if we really empower the parents in these first 1,000 days, we can really create miracles. And it's going to be, I think everybody should think it is a national emergency. This is going to be, it's a very unique opportunity, but if you miss this period, it's a national emergency, a silent emergency, I call it, and use it or lose it. This period is such a thing that if you use it, what I mean to say is the structure of the brain has formed in the womb itself, but the wiring has not formed. The wiring has to form up to 2 years, and the maximum wiring, that is the connections between the neurons, happens in the first 6 months. That is 500 trillion connections the brain has the power to form. Until 2 years, it will form 1,000 trillion connections. If you are using those connections, well and good. If you are losing, and you are lost it forever. So that is my message. And I request, and the newborn brain, I'm telling you, right in the womb, the brain is very important. I would like to say one word about brain. So the newborn brain, it occupies 2% of the body weight, but it controls the 98% of our body functions. The entire control room is getting formed in the first 1,000 days. And any deficiency, any simple deficiency, I will tell you, a folic acid deficiency can create a neural tube defects. The brain will go, it will not have the proper structure at all. A simple deficiency, simple iodine deficiency during the period can result in mental retardation in the child. So such is the power of nutrition and the neurostimulation. I think with this, the brain has, just imagine, if any malnutrition during that critical window of opportunity, it will be a devastating result for the entire life of the child. You have written a, judgment, a final judgment on the fate of the child, that if you don't care about this first 1,000 days.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pawan. Yes, I remember reading just the other day that the newborn brain forms 1 million, is trying to make 1 million new synapses every second. I mean, even being an anatomist, that was mind-boggling for me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. It's like every child, like early child development is for every child's destiny. That's what we are saying. Through PATS, through Mission Lakshya, we are changing this message, like, every early child development is for every child's destiny. So that has the potential it has.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing across the key message that the first 1,000 days, they last forever. It's like the first 2 years are forever. That is the slogan. And stressing on the importance of nutrition and stimulation. So for the sake of our attendees and those who have joined late, this is a reminder that this session this evening is only a taste session. It's a curtain raiser on what is to come later. So we have about 7 to 8 topics. These, you'll have glimpses of the significance of these topics today, and each which will be given by the respective speakers. And each of these topics will have a standalone session, a workshop-like training module, which will follow later. So from next Sunday onwards, we'll be having that. So yes, the topics are vast, the subject is huge, and it concerns the children in our homes and the children in our nation. But these are just, very small overviews. So Dr. Pawan had spoken about nutrition. Now we have, I would like to request Dr. Navnihal Singh. What is the importance of nutrition? And why is it so essential? Where are we today in that regard, especially in these COVID times? So the urgency of this program is also because, the 1,000 days have become extremely, extremely precious because of the COVID situation. So can you throw light on the
Preconceptional care? Yeah.
Preconceptional nutrition, sir, Dr. Navnihal?
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Preconceptional is a period where a couple wants to get pregnant. So this is the period where most of the people, they feel, okay, what is preconception? Why should we go to the doctor? What is there to need for the consultation to the doctor? But see, the thing is, it's not just a physiological process. It is a process where a lot of changes takes place and a lot of things can be done. It is the health education of the couple about the care to be taken before conceiving and educating them about the risk and intervention before pregnancy to reduce the chances of poor outcome, which Pawan has just said. Even if simple anemia can cause a problem, folic acid can cause brain defects and all. So as majority of the pregnancies are unplanned, and by the time a couple approaches doctor, there is a very little scope to intervene and correct it. Simple measures in the form of good health can have excellent outcomes. So that is what we are trying to emphasize in this session. All couples planning to get pregnant should seek preconceptional concern. It is about physical, mental, emotional, financial health of the couple. So here it is, nutrition plays a very, very important part. If a mother is well nourished, the child also will. So what you sow, so you are going to reap. And it is a irreparable damage. Stunting and all which takes place is in the early phases of life only. This has to be corrected, and that has to be corrected as early as possible. The most important thing which I want to emphasize here is, once you are going for preconceptional care or counseling, you at least have to approach the doctor 3 to 4 months earlier to conceiving, because the sperm takes 3 months and the egg takes 3 months to form. So any changes, the good health of the mother and the father has to be there in this 3 to 4 months period to have a very good child and an intelligent and child. This intelligence is not just here, you have to carry it forward further also. So the 10 commandments which we are going to have here is, the most important thing is, as just now Pawan has emphasized, folic acid is very important because you can prevent the neural tube defects there. Correcting anemias is also very, very important. Immunization is also very important because many times people say, why should we take vaccines? Why should we take rubella vaccine? Why should we take tetanus vaccine and all? But you can prevent major diseases also. Then screening of the couple has to be there, where you have to check whether they have got any diseases or any infections like HIV, AIDS, sexually transmitted diseases, to prevent the congenital anomalies and infections also. Screening for medical disorders. These are also important because suppose a person has got diabetes or a person has got hypothyroidism, that has to be corrected. So that the mother and the father has to be at their best of their health to have best children. Screening for genetic problems also is very important. Maintain ideal weight. Nowadays, we see a lot of people with obesity, and obesity has already been labeled as a disease. So this can cause other complications as well. The other important thing which I want to emphasize in addition to the nutrition is, like, avoid substance abuse, especially alcohol, tobacco, and narcotics. People used to feel, okay, I'm having alcohol outside or I'm smoking outside, I'm not doing it at home. But that has got an effect on the sperm as well. Smoking, whether it is active or it is passive, has got a bad effect on the fetus. Not just this, it is also the environmental toxins also. What we use it in the house or what we use outside also is also harmful and dangerous. You should have a good interpersonal relationships and family environment. So many a times it so happens, by the time a mother comes to the doctor for the checkup, it's already about 1 to 1.5 months. And by that time, organogenesis has already formed, the heart, the brain has already formed, and the damage has already taken place. So we can prevent all these damages. We can take care of all this by proper taking care, preconceptional, proper nutrition, immunization, and having proper diet and all. So this is what is very, very important about the preconceptional care, because this is the seed which you are sowing for the foundation which is going to come in future. So if this is good, the children will also be good, and you can take it forward from here for the betterment of the health of the child.
Thank you so much, Dr. Navnihal, for bringing out the message that a healthy seed and healthy soil, I mean, it's a cliched metaphor, but very apt. So the take-home message that we have from these two speakers is, yes, it's a critical, the first 2 years, conception to 2 years of life is the critical window of opportunity to break the intergenerational cycle of malnutrition in India. And once this window closes, it closes for life. That is the sense of urgency, especially in these COVID times. Stunting in children is irreversible. Physical and mental damage is caused. 3 N's: nutrition, neuro exercises, nurturing environment. Earlier the investment, greater the return, both in learning and earning potential. And that is how we shape the future of the individual, the family, and the nation. And the preconceptional care that we take both for father and mother ensures that you go towards having a healthy child. Folic acid supplements, correct anemia, immunization, or screening for diseases and infections, avoiding substance abuse, environmental toxins, and good harmonious interpersonal relationships, which form the backdrop for everything. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So this is about, preconception. Now, conception has occurred. Now, what is the care that a pregnant woman has to take? What are the factors? What is the situation now in our country and globally? And how much of a role does maternal care, especially maternal nutrition, have to play in this? Dr. Sri Sailam, would you please share your thoughts on this with us?
Yeah, Namaste. I am Dr. Sri Sailam, pediatrician. I congratulate you all for attending this program and being as an ambassador to the next generation. So all those people who have listened to this topic are very lucky enough because they could be of some help to the future building. So I'll be talking about what are the care that has to be taken during pregnancy. Dr. Navnihal Singh sir has excellently told that for a pregnancy, the care should start not after conception. That is approximately 3 to 4 months prior. So only a healthy seed, that is a healthy sperm and a healthy egg can lead and give a good child. So during pregnancy, what they can do? So I'll be talking about the 270 days of the 1000 days. So pregnancy at a normal time is really a challenge. But during COVID times, it becomes very more complex, very more tough. Why? Because there's a period of lot of uncertainty. There is a lot of fear in the family, fear in the pregnant woman itself, whether she might be affected, whether the fetus might be affected, whether she'll get a proper care. And sometimes because of the inavailability or inadequate supply of foods, they might have a fear that she might have some problems with the nutrition and care also, because accessibility to the hospitals and care, all these fears causes a lot of stress, and these stress can definitely cause a lot of harm to the baby. And one more thing, there's a lot of fear, feeling of guilt in the pregnant woman. When the whole world is under stress and suffering, why she has become pregnant? So I think it's nothing to feel guilty regarding pregnancy, but we should develop responsibilities how to adjust, acclimatize to these conditions. So what I am going to talk ahead might hold good not only during COVID times, but during generally as a pregnant women, what they should do during pregnancy. The care of a pregnant woman is not new in India. Way back 7,000-year-old knowledge, the Garbha Upanishad, which spoke about Garbha Sanskara. Whenever you talk of pregnancy and pregnancy related things, we always think that the mother only supplies some food and nutrition to the fetus. It is not so. It is, we are going to build the character of the baby. you're going to build the brain, you're going to nurture, you're going to build the character of the child. So the future of the child is decided in the womb. So you have to remember the proper care is needed. The fetus gets affected with multiple factors, not only because of lack of food, but because of the stress and environment. So I think the future, we have next good speakers going to speak on how to nurture. I'll be talking about the nutrition. Now, the main important
What
thing is,
are, Dr. Srisailam, what are
Yeah.
brain nutrients?
yeah. So generally, when we talk about food, we think about macronutrients and micronutrients. And in the micronutrients, there are very important nutrients which are important for brain development. And this period between the conception to the 2 years of age is very, very, very critical. Now, what does critical means? Suppose if the mother does not get a micronutrient like iron, which is very important for the brain development. So what happens? The child is born, he's been reared up. After 2 years, you find out that the child is having deficiency of iron. Even if you're going to supplement iron later, the child will get delayed problems. They have mental retardation problems. The development is very poor. So is the case with any other micronutrients like zinc, which is very useful for immunity. Suppose if the mother does not take zinc during pregnancy, there are a lot of problems with the immunity of the baby itself. So mother's role has a very important, and the nutrition is very pillar in a successful pregnancy. Now, what Dr. Nauniyal Singh sir was saying, why preconception care is important. Now, for example, somebody gets pregnant. When she realizes,
Yes.
this
So,
is to the audience, when does a mother realize that she could be a pregnant woman? So quickly, somebody can answer. Are there any replies in the chat box?
chat box. Yeah, we got one saying when she misses her period.
Very good, excellent. So she realizes that after 2 months that she might be a pregnant because she has missed the periods. But what you should know is by 60 days of pregnancy, that is by the time she realizes that she's pregnant, 50%, that is half of the organs are already formed. Major organs are already formed. So if her lifestyle was bad, in the sense she was subjected to some stress, she did not have proper food, or she consumed alcohol, or she was having passive smoking, or she smoked, the effect on the baby's developing organs is already damaged. So that was the importance of Dr. Nauniyal Singh sir saying, at least 4 months you should be prepared. So by the time you're planning, you should plan that you want pregnant, become pregnant, then you should plan 4 months prior only. So to be safe, because by the time you realize that you're pregnant, things are damaged, all things are gone. So this is very important for the crucial. So
Thank you so much, Dr. Srisailam.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's,
regarding the requirement of
yes.
food, I think body mass index is very important before pregnancy and during pregnancy. How much weight she's gaining, that is also important. There is no need for having excess food. Some might think,
Eating
excess
for
weight
two.
gain will harm.
Yes.
So normally weighing women during pregnancy, they can just gain of 11 to 16 kgs is sufficient. So when you visit a doctor, he will calculate body mass index, and respectively he will advise you how much weight gain you should require.
Thank you so much. Now, let us have a quick overview of what are the maternal changes that occur during pregnancy. What happens? What are the changes that occur in the fetus during pregnancy? And also, what is the impact of this COVID stress on pregnancy these days? Because just the other day we were reading that more than 20 million children, an additional 20 million children have come to below poverty level in this last 1 year. 20 million children, being handicapped into the red zone just in this last year. That's a massive number. So, what are the do's and don'ts, and what can we do to walk towards the ideal? I would like to request Dr. Anupama Reddy ma'am to say a few words. She has enormous experience on joyful pregnancy. She conducts programs of joyful pregnancy at multiple places. Welcome, Dr. Anupama.
Good evening, ma'am. Thank you very much for that, and namaste to all of you, all the seniors here, dear friends, and most importantly, our mothers who are the future of this world, who carry and create the future of this world and the future generation. So what we are here to understand is what are the changes which happen in a mother and the fetus in the pregnancy. Now, pregnancy is a period where you know that there are a lot of physical, hormonal, and emotional changes in the mother. And at the same time, the fetus is rapidly growing, not only physically, but also in that nurturing environment. The brain is growing rapidly for this baby, as so well elucidated by our previous speakers. So during the first trimester, the pregnancy is split into 3 trimesters. During the first trimester, what happens is the mother has less evidence. I mean, she hardly knows that she's pregnant other than the fact that she's having nausea and vomiting. But the baby is growing, and what happens is as early as 8 weeks, when most mothers, like you said, so many answers saying that, you know, when they miss their period that they know. But a lot of mothers don't even know that by 8 weeks of pregnancy, the baby actually has a sense of touch. So if the mother touches the womb, then the baby inside actually feels the mother's touch. Now, in the second trimester, the baby is, we call it as a golden period pregnancy, where the baby is beginning to grow rapidly. And it has a lot of events like kicking, dreaming, and it gets intense sensations of what the mother is eating, smell, and also hearing. So what we need to understand is hearing happens somewhere around mid-gestation, around 20 weeks, when you're 20 weeks pregnant. So you know that baby inside the womb is actually able to hear what is around. So how do you influence through the environment around? In the third trimester, you'll find the baby is actually learning and memory is also developing for the baby. And here, as everybody has been telling, the neuronal growth, 2.5 lakh neuronal cells per minute is produced in the pregnancy at this period. So never ever plan to decrease your pregnancy time. And we always say, encourage for you to get your natural labor, and do not, unless medically indicated, do not go for an any reason to decrease the pregnancy limits. Now, like very well said about COVID itself. COVID, we know, has devastated our country especially. And at the devastation level, I don't know whether to say it's only the below poverty line, but I see there's an epidemic of stress in every individual. And particularly to mothers, to expectant mothers, stress affects in a very, very intense level. It has a very negative impact. What is known through science is that it can actually produce preterm births. Up to 25 to 60% can go to preterm births. There is intrauterine growth restriction because there's less blood supply which goes to the baby if the mother is stressed. And more importantly, these babies go into behavioral problems of stress, anxiety, depression by the time they're 4 to 5 years of age. So bringing in a generation full of behavioral disorders, and that is where we need to impact our future generation through positive hormones, through positivity. And that comes through all the discussions that we have, is through meditation, which is going to be taken up by Dr. Sirisha so well, and breathing techniques. These are the ones which will give positivity to the mother, which is very, very relevant in this COVID time. What are the do's and don'ts? From ancient India, even Swami Vivekananda, just 150 years ago, said, it is the prenatal influence which causes the impetus for the child to do good or evil. And this means there are a set of things that we should do and we should not do during pregnancy. And this modern science is clearly telling us through experiments. And what are the do's? You have a positive impact to the baby through a positive touch, like we said. Maternal touch helps the baby to have a positive stimulation. Have good sounds around you, soft music. Rock music is supposed to actually cause the baby to be emotional crisis. So soft music for the baby. Have a variety of foods, not for nutrition only, but for implanting the idea that the baby should have no junk food, eating good food is generated in the womb. Also, we need to see good things. Mainly, mother has to have a healthy body, more importantly, healthy mind, completely avoid your stress. And the father, the family has got a huge responsibility to give that love and respect for the mother so that the baby grows in that nurturing environment. The mother goes through deep relaxation techniques. And this all accumulates into prenatal bonding. And prenatal bonding is the bedrock for all the future infant neuronal connections. And that is where we need to go, where we form a baby, create the baby inside the womb with the right nurturing techniques. And this is advisable to every mother out there to produce a future generation, which is full of values, full of health, full of nurturing environment should be given, so that the baby is overall not only intelligence, it's also emotional intelligence, social intelligence, spiritual intelligence. This is what becomes an individual for the future, which can make a difference to the world. Thank you very much, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anupama. That was a wonderful introduction to the topic. It's very captivating, all the information that you gave and the seriousness of the subject that you brought out. Yes. So maternal nutrition, the key points for today are good eating habits are very, very important. Small, frequent meals, no alcohol, no smoking, plenty of fluids, screening for diseases and infections. Quality of intake is more important than quantity, and do not take medicines without prescription. And yes, as Dr. Sri Sailam said, no, there is no need to eat for two. It is the quality that is important. And Anupama brought home the points for a joyful pregnancy. The fetus is an alive, active, responsive personality within the womb of the mother. Responds to touch, especially the maternal touch, to the flavor of the food eaten. And so it is important that the mother eat a variety of foods. It responds to auditory, it responds to music, it responds to other auditory stimuli. And so it is important to provide that stimulation and nurturing, and also visual stimulation, but not the noisy TV and other social media stimulation. It's very important for the mother to have a healthy mind and a healthy body, and have the healthy emotions and the healthy hormones flowing within her. And the father has a very important role to play. And together, the environment around the house, they should be, part of a harmonious environment at home. So here, deep relaxation methods, meditation methods have a very important role to play in providing the harmonious environment. And especially, most important, is stress. So most important take-home message is avoid maternal stress. Thank you so much, Dr. Sri Sailam and Dr. Anupama, for those key messages. Now, okay, we have a pregnant woman. Now, someone was also asking on the chat box, how do we prepare for delivery? Yes. So how do we prepare for birthing? What are the do's and don'ts? And how has this COVID time changed the situation? So I would like to invite Dr. Himabindu Singh, ma'am. She and her team have taken this Mission Lakshya places. So Dr. Himabindu, please share your thoughts on preparation for birthing. Where, how, and why is preparation needed?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, thank you, madam. I had some connectivity issue. I just joined through the mobile. Thank you, Dr. Pariplavi, Dr. PATS, and the whole team, and Mission Lakshya. Very, very happy to see that this thing is moving on. This movement of empowering parents is moving on. And of course, we all are a team, and we are doing through this PATS also a number of empowering parents, number of states we already covered. And second phase, we want to reach out to the parents, and we already made a start with your help in Telangana. Well, regarding birthing environment, I would say, this is something which all the parents, once they know they are pregnant, the mother, the whole, actually the whole family, it's a celebration in the family. The husband, the whole family, the in-laws, the parents, everybody look forward for this D-Day, I should say. So they are just looking forward to baby dreams, they all visualize. I know it's such a memorable experience for them. So why not prepare for this D-Day? So in this section, we would be covering about how to prepare yourself for this most beautiful and memorable experience in one's life. It's definitely those who want to be parents. For them, this is the most, I should say, the most beautiful experience and memorable experience. So, but it could be, just becoming a parent, though it is enjoyable and we are looking forward, sometimes it could be very overwhelming. People get stressed out and parents get worried ki, Bapre, now I'm going to have a baby in my home and how to hold the baby. Lot of doubts for this, especially for the first time when they become parents. And there are lots of myths also around birthing. So let us know the real facts, scientific facts. So preparing yourself just like you're preparing well before when you want to conceive. Similarly, preparing yourself to receive the baby will actually help you a lot. So in this preparation, what we are advising the parents is, well, please discuss with your doctor the different modes of delivery, pain management, etc. And be ready for a normal labor. Do not insist with the doctor that no, let me go for other modes of delivery. So because natural labor is a wonderful experience, and then go and visit the institute where you want to deliver. Look whether you have somebody is trained to help your baby breathe, and then keep everything ready at home. And especially if you have an eldest child, so preparing the child, because there could be another newcomer coming in the family, can be stressful to the elder sibling. Then with your spouse, have a good interpersonal relation, good supportive environment to be created at home, and having a help at home when you are in the hospital during that at least 1 or 2 days when you are in the hospital. So preparing for other responsibilities to be taken at home. So this is important. And overall, a supportive environment is very important. So when you deliver also, please see that, ensure, the baby is with you. Demand for skin to skin contact, early breastfeeding, and you have to prepare yourself for breastfeeding quite early, even before delivery. Having a birth companion is a good idea. They help you a lot. They soothe you, they calm you. In fact, the whole process of delivery becomes easy. We have seen the number of the section rates come down, and the duration of labor also cuts off. The newborn also benefits. So all these are very important. So this is having a birth companion. You can choose anybody from your family to be with you during those hours. Being physically active, including the first stage of labor, is important. There's no need for you to just lie there. Being positive, having music around you, and welcoming the child is very, very important. So immediately, as I said, ensure skin to skin contact. Breastfeeding in the labor room is possible. Early, immediate breastfeeding is what we are all advocating. So that is very, very important. There's no need to hurry to take a bath, give a bath to the baby, and no need to remove the vernix. There's so many do's and don'ts. So there's no need to clean the eyes, nose, nothing. Just wipe the baby dry, skin to skin contact. Later, immediate newborn period, many people have doubts. They say, what are the things to do? We have to remember the size of the baby's stomach is so small. So don't worry about your breast milk, other things. The mother, in this other section, we are dealing with all those things. So just give proper attachment position and skin to skin contact and relax, enjoy motherhood. That's what I would say. Prepare yourself. And also would like many people, parents would to know what is the right way to massage the baby, how to keep skin care, hair care, umbilical cord care, and of course ensure that the child is vaccinated immediately. And then the routine things, birth defects and other things are screened. And I would like to say we'll cover this myths, do's and don'ts in this birthing section. So enjoying this experience is extremely important. Being prepared and being positive helps you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Himabindu. Yes. Birthing, that is very true. It is
Yeah,
the important day in a
somebody
woman's
said, allowing Madam, somebody said allowing the father. Yes, definitely. In the private sector, I think they're allowing the father their nice labor suits now, and they're making very enjoyable experience with different, even water being, that delivering in the water. Many things are there, which is actually scientifically proven that's good and safe. But in the public sector, still, it is in process. But birth company is definitely mandated, and we are allowing a birth company along with the mother. So this is yes, yeah. Over to
Yes.
you.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am. And for all the participants, to know more about all this, please attend Dr. Himabindu's session a few weeks from now. Yes, thank you so much for giving an insight into the most important day in a woman's life, actually. Yes. And now the baby is born. So how to look after the baby? So Dr. Himabindu said, put the baby to the breast immediately. Don't bother about the other things, cleaning up and, wiping the eyes, the cord, all that. Put the baby to the breast. Okay. And then we're talking of 2 years. So from birth to 2 years, how to nurture, nourish the baby? So Dr. Pradeep Reddy, could you tell us more about this, please? Nutrition for the baby from birth to 2 years of age.
Sure, madam. Thank you. Namaste, everyone. I hope I'm audible. Thank you, Pari madam, for giving me this chance to speak to the would-be mothers and already, I think, pregnant mothers here, or the families who are planning a baby. So what till now we have seen is very beautifully, as by the previous speakers, that there is a lot of stimulation that is happening in the first 270 days of pregnancy. Dr. Anupama has very beautifully covered the prenatal programming part. And then before that, Dr. Srisalam has talked about what the mother should be eating. So as we have seen, for any child to develop normally, robustly, we require the two very big pillars of stimulation and nutrition. So what I'm going to talk over the next couple of minutes and the 2 minutes is that what is that we need to do to the baby in terms of nourishment. But for that, we must understand two very important things. The baby is going at a very rapid rate in the first 2 years. The remaining 730 days out of the first 1000 days is the part where the baby's brain is growing at a very rapid rate, almost to the point of 2 grams per day. On top of it, the baby's height is going to be almost 1.5 times what it was at the time of birth. The baby is going to triple its weight by the age of 1 year, and by 2 years, it's almost going to become almost 4 times. So the biggest misconception that keeps coming in the family or the caretaker's mind is, how come the child was growing till the age of 1 year with this rapid weight, and suddenly from 1 to 2 years, the weight has not been increasing that much? So what is the way forward? For that, we need to understand most of the malnutrition or the stunting that has been seen in Indian children is not because of lack of food. It is because the parents themselves do not know what to feed, how much to feed, how to feed, and what exactly to do. So to answer these questions, first and foremost, we must understand, as per World Health Organization, 3 very simple recommendations. When the baby is born, immediately after birth, within first hour, the child should be put to the breast. Just doing this one small simple thing can ensure longevity of breastfeeding till the age of at least 2 years and no feeding difficulties whatsoever. Second simple recommendation, the breastfeeding has to continue for minimum 6 months of age exclusively. So till 6 months of age, nothing but breast milk for the child. After 6 months, continue the breastfeeding till the age of 2 years or more. So these are the 3 simple recommendations. Now, what to feed to the child after 6 months? After 6 months, since the child is growing so rapidly, the simplest thing we must understand is the child, other than getting breast milk, should also be getting anywhere from 3 to 5 meals in a day. In the first 3 months after 6 months, that is 6 to 9 months, let the child get just 3 meals. From 9 months to 12 months, 4 meals. And from 1 year to 2 year onwards, 5 meals in a day, other than giving breast milk. What should be given? Give everything that the family is eating, that the child should be partaking from the so-called family pot. And how is it to be given? It can be given in a mashed form, maybe to increase the caloric density. The simplest thing that you can do is you can add oil, you can add ghee, you can add milk, you can add any kind of cream. So that will improve the energy density and also the variety of the food. And now what to give in the food? it is to be, we must remember there are at least 5 groups of foods that everyone in the family has. So it could be vegetables, it could be fruits, grains, millets, oil or fat, and milk products. So ensure that the child in these 3 to 5 meals in a day for the first so-called 730 days out of his life, first 2 years of his life, gets all this, but in a consistency which is thick to almost solid. So that is how we need to give, and it has to be given. How is it to be given? The common mistakes that are done are the consistency of the food and the method it is being fed. When you're feeding the child, it has to be given in a very playful manner, in a manner which is non-forcing, in a manner which is non-threatening, in a manner which is not associated with any kind of bribing the child. So it has to be a family event where the entire family sits together and the child is equally involved in eating the food, taking the food by itself, or supporting it in a playful manner. Once you do this, the child is ensured its full requirement of energy and various nutrients like vitamins and minerals. Having said that, the first 2 years, the brain is growing very, very rapidly, and it requires all these micronutrients. The most micronutrients that are deficient in Indian children are vitamin A, iron, and zinc. So other than immunization, when you give nutrition like this, you're ensuring the child gets its full immunity, full defense, full food requirement, and food energy requirement for the child to grow in a manner where he is robust, free of disease, and also the growth and development is optimum. One last thing, during the illness and sickness, what do we do? Please remember, during the illness and sickness, the child requires much more food quantity, much more frequent food as compared to during his normal time. So say a child has got loose stools or cough and cold, where you were actually giving 3 to 5 times in a day. Now you need to give the child maybe 7 to 10 times in a day. But again, in a very loving manner, playful manner, where you encourage the child to feed by himself. And these are the small, simple things that can be taken care of, and that will ensure that the child grows to its optimum growth and has the correct kind of development. Thank you so much, Pari Madam.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pradeep Reddy, sir, for wonderful insight into how to feed a child and some of the do's and don'ts. So let's have a quick recap of the key messages from these two speakers, Dr. Himabindu and Dr. Pradeep. So regarding birthing, some very important do's are prepare for the most beautiful and memorable experience of your life. Ensure a birth companion and discuss the modes of delivery, etc. with your doctor. Ensure skin-to-skin contact, immediate breastfeeding, and vaccination. 3 essential do's: preparation, birth companion, contact, and breastfeeding. Don'ts: know the normal and abnormal features and behavior of newborn. Some essential, danger signals of, any pathology that might be there. Basics: seek help in case of concerns of breastfeeding and danger signs. Yes. So you should know when to take help. Do your preparation, learn when to take help. Dr. Pradeep's messages. So infant feeding is a very powerful tool. It has many unaddressed issues, which you will learn as the session goes on later. So what needs to be done is exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months, age-appropriate complementary feeds after 6 months, and in the first 1,000 days, we have the phase of the maximum brain development. And that is why the nourishment, the feeding of the infant is extremely important. India is the capital of the world's malnutrition. What an ominous, somber note that is. And I had made an error a while ago when I said 20 million children have been added into below the poverty line last year. No, it is 140 million.
Yes, ma'am. It's 120 million.
The situation, yes, the situation is much, much more grave then we can assume. And this was for 2020, and 2021 hasn't been easy either. So all of us need to buck up and do our best. So that was about child's nutrition. Now, the other end that Dr. Pawan spoke about neurostimulation and a nurturing environment. So what is neurostimulation, and what sort of neurostimulation would a newborn baby want? And what care do we give about, with regard to that till the second birthday? I would like to request Dr. Anita to come forward and, share her experience with our audience today.
Hello.
Yes.
So I'm Dr. Anita. Namaste, everyone. Today we shall discuss what is early stimulation. Okay, the early stimulation means to stimulate the child through the normal developmental milestone and see to that the child achieves their maximum potential in all domains of development, and see that there are no delays. Okay, it is the purpose of it is to stimulate according to the age and according to the developmental milestones. First 1,000 days is very critical in shaping the child's brain architecture, both the software and the hardware. So providing the right stimulus at the right moment is the key for brain development. This is the purpose of early stimulation. Next. Next.
So sometimes, mothers say, my child is normal, there are no risk factors. Is there should I, learn all these things and do, or what will it help?
Yes, every child, even though the child is born normally, even though the child has no risk factors at all, even then every child needs to be stimulated appropriately according to the developmental milestones. Because, every child is born with a blueprint of their own developmental milestones. But according to the neuronal development, there are billions of neurons being formed and then trillions of synapses being formed. But what is happening during the developmental process is many of the synapses are pruned off or deleted. Whatever the skills which are not being used are being deleted permanently. So this is where we have to intervene. We have to see that all the skills which the nature has given us should be preserved and developed appropriately to the maximum potential, and see to that none of these skills are deleted. So in other words, as Dr. Pawan has already mentioned, use it or lose it. Whatever the skills which are using, reinforcing and practicing more are being retained, and those that are being unused are being deleted forever. We should not allow this deletion, permanent deletion to happen. That is the purpose. So even every normally born child without any risk factors needs early intervention or early stimulation.
Okay. Nowadays, especially with the COVID, so we have children going to the digital media, the gadgets, even more than before, and they are enhancing their skills there. So multiple skills with smart parents, they are able to learn that. But would that be enough? What do you say about that?
No, according to the IAP and AAP also, screen time is not recommended for the age group between 0 to 24 months. So appropriately from 0 to 6 months, no screen should be allowed. And from 6 to 24 months, you can allow screen time for video calling with the parents or some family members. And from 1 to 2 years, you can allow a little amount of screen with guided educational material, provided the parents also are along with them and guiding them and interacting with them. That means the child should never be left alone with the screen. So it happens many a time that parents are busy and keep this TV or a mobile in front of the child and just put on some cartoons or some educational material and leave the child there. That should not be the thing. If at all the child is old enough, that is, suppose if the child is about 1.5 or 2 years, and if you want to show them some educational material, the parent or the caregiver should sit along with the child and guide them what they are watching, what you have to go on interacting and keep the child engaged in conversation also, because watching the screen is a one-way communication. It's not going to help in child's development. What a child needs is interaction, human interaction, social communication, expression of emotions, expression of doubts. So that is lacking in the screen time. So definitely avoid screen at this age.
Yeah, the screen cannot be a surrogate mother, however good it is interactive. Thank you. But what is the role of play in all this?
Play is the most wonderful thing. Play is unique for every child, as child is also unique. And play develops all the domains of development. When the child is manipulating the toys, the fine motor skills, gross motor skills develop. And then when the child is exploring the environment and the toys, whatever, the toys can be any household object also. Everything's around us is a play item for a child. When the child is exploring each and every item, they know the feel of it, the texture of it, probably the taste of it, because the child put it into mouth also. They know the taste of it, the purpose of it, and then they learn the action reaction sequences. They know little problem solving skills, and when the child is playing with other child, they learn to share. They learn to take turns, and in total, a play, unstructured play, develops all the domains of development. So that should be there, and moreover, if you the parents should create the right environment. They should create the right place, a safe place, and then give them the items which they can play with, which are safe, and developmentally appropriate, age appropriate toys should be given, and include many of the household items in play, and be a guide to them. Do not instruct them. Don't instruct them, this is how you should play. Because child may play in different ways. They create their own play methods. So let them explore. That develops their cognitive skills. So be a guide, not an instructor.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anita.
Yeah, ma'am, I would like to add, ma'am, to what Anita has so beautifully explained.
Yes.
Albert Einstein said that, if you want an intelligent child, read them fairy stories, because that will, if you want your child to be more intelligent, ask them to read more fairy stories, because that will that will enhance the imagination capacity of the child. And regarding the power of play, for nerve connections to form, if for one synapse connection to form, it will take 400 repetitions usually. But with play, it will the synapse connection will form with only 10 to 20 repetitions if the play is associated with it. So the power of play is that a synapse formation which requires 400 repetitions will be done only with 10 to 20 repetitions. That is the power of play. And coming to the power of communication, that is called language nutrition, what we call as a language nutrition. Auditory stimulation is very powerful weapon. So the parents, right from the birth, the baby can hear. If you can stimulate the auditory stimulation, like, through soothing voice of the mother and the father, that each vibration, each what mother speaks, it will go and set in the baby's brain. It will lodge there with a certain frequency. So there is something called language nutrition, where a newborn, right from 2 months of the age, if the being exposed to 4 different languages, their brain processing speed, that is cognition, is very high. 25% increase in the cognition they observed in Japan. So that is the power, and that is the power of language. So mother has to do that. Mother can sing, read stories to the baby, and all these auditory stimulation, wherein mother exposes the child to different sounds, soothing sounds, and also the visual stimulation, as Dr. Anita was saying, different visual stimulation. All the multisensory integration is what is required. With the massaging, I think that every parent has to do. I think there is one beautiful video prepared by Dr. Anita, which we'll be sharing, like how to do this multisensory integration, which is very powerful, which will really connect the nerve connections. The wiring happens, I told you, in the first 1000 days. So that will be helped by this multisensory integration.
Yeah, one more thing is, most of the time parents are showing the cards of alphabets, numbers and all. And please avoid this at this age. What the child needs to know is the things around us, what the purpose of every object around us, not the alphabets or numbers. And instead of showing flashcards or pictures, it's always beneficial to show the real object. Instead of showing the picture of an apple, show them an apple. Let them feel the apple, let them taste it, let them smell it. So that should be the way of learning, not just on paper.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Pavan and Dr. Anita.
Dr. Pariplavi, ma'am.
Dr. Anita, yes, Dr. Himabindu.
Could you once again announce that this is only a curtain riser and just brief of the program, how it looks like? Because many of them are thinking it is the final one. Just
yes, Dr. Anita conducts numerous workshops which train others on how to stimulate the child, and very age specific. So a series of workshops, all of which that training will be imparted later on through, we are planning to have direct training workshops. So this session is only a curtain raiser. It's just a peep into what is to follow. So,
Madam, I think I just wanted to add.
Yes, Dr. Himabindu.
Yeah, I wanted to add because I'm seeing a lot of questions. I thought I should only talk about birthing, but the breastfeeding part, I think that was a little bit missed. So I just want to add a lot of questions are there. Yes, definitely we have a lot of questions, even in educated mothers or all cadre, I should say, regarding breastfeeding. So as I said that we should start immediately, give exclusively for 6 months and continue breastfeeding even beyond 2 years. And a lot of doubts regarding breastfeeding. We need to be, I think it's just counseling which is required. There's actually nothing called lactation failure. All mothers can breastfeed. The most important thing is just being a mother. Just relax, enjoy, because they are very good natural reflexes, the oxytocin, some of these things will tell you in detail in our sessions. So just being a mother, enjoying the process of breastfeeding, that's what we want the mothers to do. Don't have a lot of doubts about yourself, and just be relaxed. And nothing like, not having enough milk. You just have to, as I said, like the buffaloes and cows, enjoy breastfeeding. And then the stomach size of the baby is so small that appropriately the size increases as the amount of breast milk increases. So there are small mantras like complete emptying to ensure night feeding, proper attachment position. These are these are the solutions for all the problems of breastfeeding. So, we have, say not enough milk. Please do not challenge yourself or even doubt yourself. So just continue to breastfeed. We know there are some indirect signs of knowing that your child is getting enough milk. We'll tell you all those in details. So this is very important. There are many positions that all, be natural, relax. So that's what I want to say. And then there's nothing like, adding other milk. Please beware of an IMS Act. So there is something called the Infant Milk Substitute Act, where all parents should know, doctors should know, all the healthcare staff should know, we are not supposed to promote any other milk other than breast milk, because this breast milk is the best milk for the human baby, human milk. So this is what, because as per the composition and everything, this is the right milk, and it is also the important for your brain development. Not just the nutrients, the infant body and skin to skin contact, so many other benefits that child is having during breastfeeding. So after you join even for a working mother, or after 6 months, after your leave is over, your complementary feeds are started. So don't worry about the other milk. And even otherwise, we do not advise any other milk up to 1 year. So even after that, you can actually successfully breastfeed the child. You can, there are so many tips for the working mother, having express breast milk, express the milk and keep at home, and giving night feeding is very, very important. And please ensure that you take care of the child. You utilize the maternity leave or the child care leave which the government is giving. So many other things, because this opportunity child doesn't wait for you, for your career to grow, and he says, mommy, I'll wait till you finish your, because you're due for a promotion or something like that. So this is something you want your, this is by plan, that you are created a child, conceived a child. So let's balance, let's give the child its right. So that's what I want to say. So happy parenting.
Yeah, ma'am. I think it's really rightly said. Breast milk is like amazing milk, ma'am. Breast milk is really amazing. If I want to say one intervention which can really save the newborn lives, and which will have a complete package of this entire first 1,000 days. One action is, if you say that, if you ask me what one action will result in entire, it's a game changer, is the breast milk. Giving breastfeeding for first 6 months, exclusive breastfeeding. After that, continuous feeding till, along with the complementary feeding, and 2 years we need to give the breast milk. So that's an amazing milk. The flavor bridge, whatever the mother eats, so that will add as a flavor to the baby, and that really programs the taste preference of the child, which has been already spoken by Dr. Anupama ma'am. So flavor bridge is what is very important, which can be given only through breastfeeding. So formula fill, always it tastes the same bland, but this breastfeeding will definitely add that flavor. So I think that is one of the things which is also provides complete neuro nutrients and also neuro exercise in a nurturing environment. The mother-child interaction, the mother-child interaction is also very high during that period. So all the 3 N's, nutrition, neurostimulation, and in a nurturing environment. All three things will happen when the mother is breastfeeding. So that is the power of breastfeeding. Yeah.
And even the first tika, the colostrum, that is there because all the parents want ki bhai doctor ke paas jao, vaccination. So vaccination is what they're all worried about, and the weight gain. This all can happen with first breastfeeding. The colostrum has lot of antibodies, immune factors. It stimulates the immunity of the child. It actually, that's long-term benefits are there for the baby. Prevents lifestyle diseases, increases IQ.
Bindu, we definitely need an elaborate discussion on the breastfeeding because many people have these doubts. So
yeah, I've seen on the chat box, and we somehow I thought let me highlight.
Yeah.
Very true.
So I would like to, remind all the participants, all the attendees, that we still have a couple more topics to be covered. And after the conclusion of those topics, because your questions, though they might be shared by the others, are still a little specific to you. So let us complete the session, the topics for which the speakers have come here. And after that, we'll have a question answer session and an interactive session. So right now, let us go ahead with this program. Please hold your questions, save them up for after the talks are over, because let everyone have an overview of all that is being offered. Thank you so much. And thank you, Dr. Himabindu, Dr. Pavan, for those inputs. Breast milk is the best, yes. So we saw about nourishment. Dr. Pradeep Reddy spoke about nourishment, then Dr. Anita spoke about neurostimulation, and both of them touched about the nurturing. A little more about the nurturing environment. So how to create this nurturing environment in the family. Everyone brought out, Dr. Anupama especially, she brought out the key factor that the mother should be happy, mother should not be stressed. Everyone is bringing out this factor. Mother should feel loved and happy and loving. And all this carries on to the child. The father should be involved, the rest of the family to be involved. So how do we enable or how do we nurture this nurturing environment for the child? I would like to request Dr. Sirisha Palichella to share her wisdom in this regard.
Good evening, madam. Thank you so much. And first, I heartily congratulate the entire team of PATS for creating such a great module, which is useful for next generation of humanity. So I want to start my session with a small quotation from Rabindranath Tagore. The quotation goes like this: each and every child comes with a message that God is not yet discouraged of man. So each and every pregnancy comes with a message that it's precious. Okay. So, but the beauty of this journey is we don't know when it starts. The moment of the journey is still a miracle on this earth. When exactly we can start this journey, nobody knows. So as Dr. Naunihal Singh has said, it has to be planned 4 months prior. Exactly. We need to plan prior, and we have to create a right environment in our mental attitude that it has to be like, it has to be a wanted craving and like a nurturing pregnancy. It's not, every pregnancy should be out of choice, not by chance. So today, after this session, each and every aspiring couple or the family members has to be taken a great message into the heart that let all pregnancy be by choice, and that too with correct nutrition and neurostimulation, and everything happens if you are committed. That means you know that some day or the other day your journey is going to start, but you don't know when it starts, is it not? So such a confusing but very craving question.
So now, how do we
yes,
create this nurturing environment?
Exactly. So the two important potential people in this journey is the aspiring couple. Okay, they should start the journey. So we plan for many things in their life, right? So the pregnancy planning should be a part of their schedule. So we plan for finances, we plan for careers, we plan for settlement of their professions. So many things are being planned. So in the part of the couple, planning, pregnancy planning should be an important part of it. And now I want to continue this journey with a message from Swami Vivekananda that each and every idea or thought which comes from your mind, it influences your physical and mental attitude. It has a potential enormous effect on your mind and body. So what is the role or power of meditation here is, first, if you divide the journey into 3 parts, first thing is planning and preparedness for pregnancy and during pregnancy, and once you become parent, that means parenting moments. So in each and every part of this journey, the right attitudes of the parents is most important. And the other quotation or the letter written by Albert Einstein, the only unseen force which unites each and every human being on this earth is the power of love. So the potential of love, the potential of your thoughts, and the potential of the promise the nature has given to you to become an aspiring parents is what is this journey is. Okay, so I warmly welcome all the people to take up this message strongly that still in the tough situations of COVID, people are coming with pregnancy, coming with children, and they are so emotionally bonded with the children, and they're concerned about their pregnancies, concerned about their children. And recently I had a conversation with one of the important Mrunali, Dr. Mrunali, who is a psychologist from Arya Janani team. She was telling that I'm concerned about the children who is born during COVID times, because we are social human beings and we are not connected so much during COVID times. We are bounded in a 4 walls, and the child doesn't know that we have to be interactive with the environment. So in this situation, we need to be very planned, careful that we should not give stress to the child. Let the child grow naturally. So for the stimulation to happen, first important thing is the parents should have a right set of attitude and goals towards that end result. So this is about planning for pregnancy and preparedness for pregnancy. Now in this journey, our global guide of heartfulness meditation, Dr. Kamlesh T. Patel, he used to say very often that the moment of conception is the most important part. Once that is done, rest of the entire journey will be taken care of. And see, we have got a lot of information, what to eat, how to breastfeed. And if you take Dr. Anita's presentation, it's a huge. It's like you need to, from 0 to 2 years, she has a big curriculum. Each and every day, how to stimulate a baby, how to massage a baby, how to communicate with the baby. And Dr. Anupama Madam has a rich potential of programming, how to talk to the baby in the womb, how to connect to the baby in the womb. But to all these things to happen, the parents should have proper mindset. So this heartfulness meditation, guided by our Daji, we are incorporating the methodology of heartfulness relaxation techniques to entire humanity to become stress-free and let the energy flows naturally through you. And this meditation is being guided by Pranahuti. That is, entire living force is coming into existence through another existence. See, such a beautiful miracle and journey, and how extremely cautious we have to be. Even to invite a small person, like a guest is coming into your home, we clean our home. We make sure that everything is organized. Everything is very presentable to the person who is coming to our home. Imagine a life force is coming to a mother and it is nurturing inside, and how much importance we need to give to the environment. This environment gives you a potential opportunity to balance the hormones, to balance the emotions, to balance the good qualities of parasympathetic and sympathetic system. Each and everything is important for us, but the balancing happens when you are in a good meditative mode. meditation technique is not just a 5 minutes technique. It is like a heartful way of living has to be incorporated in such a way that you make sure that the child is grown inside you with a lot of confidence. And even after the child is born, you have to stimulate the baby with a lot of joy. Unless there is joy in your heart, we cannot just stimulate a baby. The mother is so disturbed, having her own emotions of thinking about something other, something is going on in the background. Do you think the mother will be able to communicate with the child properly? No. So the Raja Yoga meditation helps you to make sure that you are deeply connected to your inner source of divine energy, and the same divine energy is there inside your child, and you are going to interact with the child in a divinely manner. So an entire family is helping to rear a child in a family. So this meditation practices, the power of meditation in pre-pregnancy is it helps the couple to take a decision with clarity and take up this project of the parenting as an important part of their life. It's a lifetime opportunity for a couple. Okay, once the opportunity is given, you have to make sure that it is carried on with a lot of trust of the divinity on yourself. And next thing is, what about the later part of the pregnancy? As Himabindu Singh Madam was telling, the more relaxed you are, the more the mother is relaxed, the more there is a chance of normal delivery. And if the mother is so tightly disturbed or fear for delivery, the chances of going for cesarean section is high. And the next part is, the most important journey now is from the planning for pregnancy to the journey of 270 days is the pregnancy period. 365 days is first year of life, and next 365 is the second year of life. It's not a small journey, right? 1,000 days is not a small thing. Even to go from here to one place, we plan a lot. And the child is in your hands, totally dependent on the parents. We have to be very supportive and make sure that the child achieves the maximum potential.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sirisha. So, yes. For bringing out the role of relaxation techniques, for the importance. So everyone has brought out, all the speakers have brought out the importance of a healthy, happy mother, a healthy, nurturing environment at home, in in nurturing a healthy, happy child who is going to grow up into a healthy adult, a healthy, happy adult. And data tells us that a $1 input in these 1,000 days is paid back much, much more into hundreds of dollars. It preempts the expenditure of hundreds of dollars later on. So that is the importance of this window. So the message for the programming of the child, early stimulation from Dr. Anita's talk, is early stimulation is to bring out the best and achieve the maximum potential in all domains of development, and at the same time, not to allow skills to be lost in pruning. So we need to be alert that all the skills, all the domains are being exercised all days. So you forget to use or exercise that, there is a cleaning, pruning and cutting that happens, and it goes. So domains, all domains regularly. Every child, even who is seemingly normal without any risk factors, needs stimulation. So even a so-called normal healthy child will do much better if there is continuous neurostimulation. Screen and media education is not ideal for this age group. What they need is love, nurturing care, stimulation, and human interaction. So communication between mother and child, between the family members and child, is much more than just contact. It happens at multiple dimensions, at various levels, energy levels, and verbal, non-verbal levels. So that is very important. And by no imagination, is screen and media education ideal or a substitute? Unstructured play is ideal at this age group. Do not control or determine what your child plays and how. Gentle guidance, so unstructured play is advised. So regarding the creating of a nurturing environment for the child from even before pregnancy, Dr. Sirisha's message is the message of meditation and other techniques, ancillary techniques. During the premarital period, the meditative practices as part of a lifestyle help the physical, emotional, mental well-being of both men and women, which invokes wisdom and creates a suitable environment conducive to divinity during conception. So the moment of intimacy is very, very important in determining the kind of child that you will be having later on. During preconception period, these techniques help in having a balanced and relaxed mind to be able to plan for a pregnancy with clarity, and it brings inner peace in the couple, creates a beautiful, loving, relaxing environment amongst themselves and an environment that welcomes the new soul into the family. It is a joyous welcome of anticipation and love. During the pregnancy period, relaxation helps women to stay away from anxiety and maintain good physical and mental health during the entire period of pregnancy so that the fetus can grow in a stress-free atmosphere. There is enormous research to support all these statements in the domains of neuroscience, in the domains of growth and development, and in all fields of medicine to show that stress depletes the body in various ways and especially depletes the resources of a growing child, so that a child is born stunted and handicapped in many, many ways that we cannot recognize immediately at birth. So long-term effects of maternal stress on the child are a lifetime. So meditative environment during parenting helps the child to grow with the maximum potential bestowed by the divine. For free guided relaxation, she's given the website www.heartfulness.org. Yes. So those were the essential key takeaways from each of the speakers about these key topics. And we are nearing the end of this session. We'll be going in for the interactive. But before we get there, I would like to invite Dr. Radha Ramadevi, one of the senior most pediatricians in the city. She was heading the Department of Newborn Screening and Diagnostics at the Center for DNA Fingerprinting and Diagnostics. She is part of the Genome Foundation. On behalf of all the three teams, the three organizations, may I invite Dr. Radha Ramadevi for her expert comments. Ma'am.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, Doctor. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Thank you very much for inviting me to give a few comments on this topic. And thank you for conducting such a nice session. And I think most of all the speakers have pointed out about the importance of care during the first 1,000 days of life, because this is the most important period in an individual's life. That anything that happens in the first 2 years is going to be permanent. So we need to really take care of the child from conception till to the second birthday of the child. And what all the points that are given just now, they're really pertinent and needs to be followed. This is very, very important. See, when we talk about the preconceptional care, I'm sure large number of mothers, they really do not know about the preconceptional care. And this is the thing that needs to be popularized among the would-be parents, about the importance of taking folic acid, because as you can see that in the United States, people have prevented development of neural tube defects by simply giving folic acid to the pregnant mother. So this aspect we need to stress upon about the importance of preconceptional care for the couple. And the other thing is that most of these, some of them rather, can have some bad histories, bad obstetric histories, such as recurrent abortions. And many a time, as a clinicians, we do see that the factor is not in the women, in the lady, but mostly in the father. So this has been raised by Dr. Singh about the importance of smoking and alcohol abuse. And these are the things that we have seen in large number of families, a very bad effect on the sperm. We see large amount of defects in the sperm, which is causing the problem. So during the preconceptional care, if this is advised to the couple, probably this type of problem can be prevented. So of course the care that goes during pregnancy, all of you have put forward, and that is very, very essential. And also the women has to undergo proper screening programs so that congenital and developmental defects can be prevented during antenatal checkups. And interpartum care is very, very essential because this is the time when the baby is trying to come out of the pelvis, and the brain can be stressed, and you can develop a damage to the growing brain. So this is the important time where you have to prevent any damage that occurs to the brain during delivery. So the other factors that you have already covered is the postnatal care is also important. So the women has crossed all the stages, the first 3 stages, and the baby has entered into the postnatal care. And this is again, we need to take a lot of care for the baby, because during this period, if anything happens to the growing brain, it is going to be permanent. See, the 26 million babies who are born in this country every year, you know, when you look at some of them, you know, you have already pointed out a large number of them are in below poverty line, and most of them have some nutritional deficiencies. Not only the child, we have also seen even the mother has deficiency of vitamin B12 or vitamin D3, which is reflected immediately postnatally in the child. So this care during this pregnancy is very essential in order to prevent defects in the child postnatal. So the postnatal care we have already started to give to the child with regard to immunizations and other things. But of late, recently we are getting some other programs which still in our country we are unable to implement to prevent the future health of the child by doing certain screening programs. So these screening programs are available, but unfortunately we are still not able to provide that to our children. So probably in future we may be able to do this screening program so that you can pick up some of the defects and prevent morbidity and mortality before the child is 2 years, 2 years of age.
Years old.
So this is what we need to do. So you have programs, you have everything, but unfortunately, is it reaching to the people? How much we are able to convey this to the lady comes with the baby in her hand. I have the baby, I'm unable to breastfeed the child. Because when you look at the breast and there is no nipple at all, and the nipple, the child is unable to pick up the nipple. And in those circumstances, breastfeeding is a failure. So these are the things which we need to take care during the pregnancy time and see that you effectively implement breastfeeding to every child, rather than putting the child on top milk or the formula feeds. So these
so
are
much.
concepts which are there very well and very good, but are we able to implement them effectively to each and every child? So this is where I'm concerned. And this is where we need to really work hard to see that each and every pregnant woman gets these benefits. So with these few comments, I thank Dr. Palvi for giving me this opportunity. And I'm very glad that all the speakers have given very nice comments, very nice points that everyone has to take care during this first 1,000 days of life. And thank you very much. And thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Dr. Radha Ramadevi is an expert in all genetic testings for the pre-implantation onwards till later on. So the Genome Foundation offers a number of the procedures for screening, for diagnosis, for therapeutic measures, for counseling, and for identifying, and even for population studies. So thank you so much, Dr. Radha ma'am, for reiterating the fact that everything that the speakers have spoken is of utmost importance, and it remains to be implemented. That is, the consumer has to use the services, the programs that are being provided. So are we making use of the facilities or the programs that are being played out, rolled out? So that was a message for the audience. Please make use of the opportunities that you get to ensure that you have a healthy, happy child growing at home and around you. I now invite Dr. RSV Sri Krishna, representative of the UNICEF in the Twin States of Telangana and AP, for his expert comments on this session, on this topics.
Good evening, everyone. Academy of Pediatrics Telangana State Chapter and the organizers for this opportunity. I won't take long. It's been a wonderful 2-hour session wherein you've seen what's the importance of small measures, and right from the period of preconception till the time the child is 1,000 days old. And this period is very important because this shapes the future for the child. I'll just take you through a couple of quick messages, and this is more from a programmatic perspective, and this gives you insight on if you had to take home key ideas for action. And this is what WHO and UNICEF are promoting, that these are your areas for implementation. The first one, look at responsive care. You're all responsible now. Translate it into responsive care. Support parents and caregivers, improve their ability to provide responsive care. This is one of the core areas for the governments. Second, breastfeeding, and this probably is the single most important determining factor which distinguishes a child with optimal development and a suboptimal development. Focus on balanced diet and micronutrients. Ensure that there is access to vaccination and all age-appropriate vaccinations are taken. Focus on complementary feeding, and this feeding not just should be age-appropriate, should also be quality-rich, and not just on the quantity. Maternal mental health is also very important. Prevention of child abuse and neglect, developmental monitoring, assessment, early response and support. All these are important action areas for the states and also some relevant for parents as well. There are a few socio-economic and environmental risks, and we need to ensure that no child is left behind, and we need to adapt the principles of universal health. Invest in the early years by promoting services without any discrimination. And these are all thoughts for policymakers. Before I conclude, I'll just take a minute. 2020 and 2021, you can't leave COVID aside. For whatever you do, right from infection, newborn, even to cardiology and the advanced medicine, you have to put COVID into perspective. Now, how do you take care of optimal childhood development with COVID lurking all around you? Okay, it's probably been a year and you didn't do your best efforts. Your child didn't go to school or you were busy handling family emergencies. But at some stage, you need to take stock and start focusing on ensuring optimal childhood development. And how do you support your children and yourself during the COVID-19 outbreak? And I'll tell you why these brackets are so important. The COVID outbreak has changed many things about our daily lives, and One thing is for sure, even if the COVID is still around, even if there is lockdown, the child is growing each day, and each day is adding more importance to your interventions. And if you don't act now, it will be difficult for you to enable the same function happening later. So children are still learning, growing, and developing, and everyone can support a child's healthy development even during the current scenario. How do we do it? Just three things. One, the concept of serve and return, and it's very popular across Europe. So you need to practice serve and return. What it means is whenever a young child serves up a chance or gives you a chance to engage with them, please return it with attention. Each time you were in a meeting, on your phone, on WhatsApp, watching something, and there's an opportunity that the child comes up with, please take it and return it. A simple game of peekaboo or pointing a toy, talking about the spelling, interacting with the child, all these will add value. And why do you need to do it? Because this builds developing brains and develops resilience. This we need in all these challenging times. Second, please maintain social connections. You may be distant physically, but please ensure you are socially connected. And why? Because responsive relationships where this serve and return interaction is there happens only when you can buffer against the ongoing stress, and this social connections are an important one. And the last one, take a break. It's very important in these stressful times, you take a break, ideally with your children, and if possible, some component of your time without them as well. Very commonly, we feel overwhelmed, but we need to find a way to give your stress response a rest. Take a walk, try meditation, call a friend, and give yourself this break. Why? Because when you're able to find ways to give yourself a break, you're returning back to your children better, and you will be able to meet their needs, and now you are in a position to support their development better. So take care of your child and also yourself, and best wishes. I'm sure you'll have more programs in the future which will address all these in detail, and each one of us will be able to contribute for better and much optimal early childhood development. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sri Krishna, for those very, very important key messages. The most important one being that the child grows irrespective of COVID or disasters. The child keeps growing, and we have to be alert and aware, and also focus on that aspect of the child. And that it's not just the mother or the father. Everyone can help nurture a child. Every child belongs to everyone. And all of us need to be aware and conscious of that important role that we all play. And all those wonderful fine points that you brought out towards, enabling rest and relaxation, even recovering from feeling overwhelmed, which can really be too much. I mean, having a small baby or an infant can be a very overwhelming experience sometimes. That was a very important aspect that you brought out. So for this, now at the end of this session, when we have understood the importance of this topic, yes, when India is home, even before COVID, to 1/3 of the world's undernourished, half of all Indian children are undernourished, even from the good socioeconomic background families. Yes. And when, this 2 years period is so critical, we've looked at various aspects of this, just had a peep at that. And to all this, raises our awareness, rests a large responsibility on our shoulders. And there are a number of people, pediatricians and others, medical professionals and volunteers, who have been very active in taking this, message forward. And one of the important activities that started a few years ago was by the Pediatric Association, the Indian Association of Pediatricians in Telangana State, as Mission Lakshya. So this was started by Dr. Himabindu Singh and her very able and vibrant and inspired team. I would like Dr. Himabindu to speak about that. It will be a sort of a wrapping up of this session. Dr. Himabindu, welcome, ma'am, and please.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Pariplavi. I think I'm very blessed and very proud also to say that me and my whole team of my pediatricians, very passionate pediatricians, we have come together 2 years ago in 2018 or maybe 3 years ago. And when I was the president of the state Telangana IAP pediatric body, so I wanted to roll out something which was very useful and which was something, there's a gap, where I thought that pediatricians are doing many things, but there I felt that we need to do more on this first 1,000 days. So we just came out with this module, and with me, they are very, very passionate team of pediatricians, Dr. Anita, Dr. Pavan, Dr. Sri Salam, all those you have seen today, Dr. Navnihal, Dr. Pradeep Reddy, Dr. R.S.V. Sri Krishna from UNICEF. We all came together. We have created a module which was called Lakshya 1000, but we named it Mission because we wanted it to go in a mission mode. We want to create a movement where this knowledge should not be just within the pediatricians. We wanted to empower the pediatricians so that they can empower the parents. And ultimately, it is the beneficiaries are the parents. We want to get connected to them. So this is a good platform for us with Genome Foundation and the Heartfulness to reach out to the parents. And I would also like to inform that this movement has really become big in our pediatric society also through a module called EPIC 1000, which is EPIC is empowering parents in early child care in the first 1,000 days of life, where by now we have covered 5 to 6 states. The pediatricians are also very much excited to know what else we can do. Now, apart from, we were focusing more on nutrition, but the stimulation part, which is before delivery and after delivery, this was something we are highlighting through this module. This has caught the attention of the pediatricians themselves. And even the government is now thinking of rolling this out in Anganwadis to the pregnant woman, irrespective of class, which is literate, illiterate, all cadres, low socioeconomic, high socioeconomic. Children are children wherever they are being created, wherever they are born. They need complete attention, and because they have the potential, they should come, of course, by choice, but we need to plan, and we need to give the best environment and nurture them. Nurturing is something like, the word nurture itself involves just not nutrition, the bonding, the touch, the environment, and the responsibility which we need to take as parents and as families and communities, that all encompasses in this module. So we have different sections, and this movement is picking up. I'm very happy that we are together, and we are all excited to do and connect with the parents. We look forward for more and more sessions where parents will benefit. And I request you all to really implement, whether if you are a parent who's planning pregnancy, you are lucky. Even if you already had a child, it's important that you please take care, at least for the next child, some things which you have not done before you can implement. And if you already become a parent quite long ago, then it may be useful for your friends. Please do disseminate this knowledge, and also for the grandparents. Thank you, and very excited to be part of this journey, and very excited to see that it is really touching the ground, the parents. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I look forward for being part of this movement. I would request you to all spread this knowledge. One person tell others, and all of us come together for the next webinar in huge numbers, and so that you spread this knowledge to your friends and colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Himabindu. You and your team have been really pioneers in this field in the entire country. And may the force be with you, all of you. Yes, thank you. So, so this brings us to the end of the formal session. So we have a very important announcement to make. All the 3 teams from the 3 organizations, we have a very important announcement to make. So we wish to take these programs further, but only to those who are interested, because an enormous amount of time and energy and other resources are being put into this. Everyone is a very, very busy practitioner or a scientist, and we are all pooling our resources here for that. So if you are interested as a prospective parent or a grandparent or a parent now, or a healthcare professional of whatever denomination to carry it forward, whatever background, or as a volunteer, you feel inspired to join the team, please register. We will be providing a new link for registration to the sessions that will be coming on. Those will be in the workshop mode. We have about 7 to 8 sessions on a weekly basis, every Sunday, 5 to 7. So plan your time accordingly and think it over. Please register afresh. So what we registered earlier was for this particular curtain raiser session. It was an awareness program also, so that the message will go far and wide. Those who are keen on attending almost all the sessions, seriously interested for themselves or for others, please register again and plan your time accordingly. And those will be serious sessions with, even as Dr. Pavan was saying, breakout rooms and facilitators. So each of these speakers will be conducting standalone sessions every week with their team of facilitators. So it's a large project. Please, as Dr. Radha Ramadevi said, take benefit of the opportunities that are provided. And as everyone has been saying, please receive and pass on, pass on, pass on. Yes, so that was the thing. We'll soon be posting the link for that new registration for the workshops that are to come. And now we are open for interactive session with the speakers. If your question can be answered by looking on the web, please do that. If it is something really, urgent, please ask it here. And make sure that there is a time limit for that. So if it goes beyond 2 minutes, we would advise you to contact out of this session.
Madam Pari ma'am, I think
Yes.
all the 3 WhatsApp groups were full. I think there is a request from people for the new link. So
Yes.
we'll be delivering that. I have posted my number in the chat box.
Yeah.
Those who have not entered any of the WhatsApp groups, I think they are all full. All the 3 which were prepared were full. We are creating one more. Meanwhile, you can message me on that number.
Yeah, that is for this session. Those were registrations for this session. So some of you have attended this session without the registration. We insisted on that so that we would have a channel of communication on how to take it forward also. So thank you for attending. Please try registering again, and please contact Dr. Pavan at the phone number he has posted, and he'll take it from there. Thank you, Dr. Pavan.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So the speakers are now open for short questions. There were many questions.
We are already past 7. Is it okay, ma'am?
So shall we close it? Yes.
Yeah. Like, whatever other panelists, if you are okay, then we'll extend for question and answer session.
Yeah, Dr. Pavan.
There
were questions really like, what really are the brain nutrients? Because of the short of time, I could not complete.
Right.
There are certain micronutrients like, iodine is very important.
You want to tell everything now?
Yeah. Just names. Give the names of brain nutrients. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah, because of the shortage of time. So in breakout sessions, I think we'll give you the details. So don't panic. We have future session which is exclusively individually will be taking up. So at that moment, you can get the clear picture of all the micronutrients, macronutrients, which in pregnancy the women can take. So this is just a overview of the talks. What will be
entire 90-minute session dedicated to maternal nutrition, mother nutrition only.
Yeah.
Right.
Not only maternal nutrition, but all the topics whatever we dealt today.
Yes. So yes, Pavan, did you have something to say?
Yeah. That's what. If it's okay with everybody, we can just some questions. If we can allow the people to ask questions, general questions, I think we can take for 5 minutes or so.
Can you, Dr. Pavan, can you post your number once again? I think the message has come up. People are asking. So that
They can just raise their hand. We can just ask them to interact with it. That's possible.
Yeah, anybody wants a question, I think you can just, yeah, you can WhatsApp me on that number which I have given now.
Yeah. So I have an input to give. It is nearing 7:15 already. And so since...
Yeah, ma'am, as you said, like you are the moderator of the session.
Yeah.
You can decide upon that.
Yes.
Maybe till 7:30 we can,
Yes.
take the questions. Yeah.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank the three organizations, the Genome Foundation, headed by Dr. Gandhi PC Kaza, and his entire team of scientists and supporting staff, all of them for taking this project forward. They are eagerly looking forward to a long association with the pediatricians and obstetricians and volunteers in providing their services to the remotest corner of the country. That was the purpose for which they started. Very thankful to Dr. Surendranath and Dr. Himabindu Singh and their teams. Words fall short of appreciation, proper appreciation for all the wonderful work that they are doing, not only in Telangana, but in the neighboring states and all across the country. So all of you are becoming role models as pediatricians. You're setting the prototype modules for everyone. Congratulations. You really inspire us. And enormous gratitude and thanks to the team from the Heartfulness Institute, and most especially our global guide, Dr. Kamlesh Patel, also referred to as Sachi. It is the inspiration that we get from him that drives us irrespective of what the circumstances are. And we urge all of you who have attended this session to try out the techniques of the Heartfulness way and just see. There are 4 essential techniques. One is relaxation, one is meditation, as Dr. Sirisha had mentioned. Then very essentially, there is something called cleaning or detoxification. See, all of us, we have so many complex feelings and emotions and memories. And the COVID is adding lifetimes of that to our, systems. So this cleaning is a very, very important technique that helps us get rid of this garbage within us, all the negativities, the impurities, the various complexities, the heaviness within our systems. So that, we lay ourselves open, our body, mind, and heart, they come in alignment, the energies flow properly. So when the energies flow properly, there is optimal functioning at all levels. Your health improves, sleep improves, your happiness, your joy, your clarity, your decision making, your planning for a pregnancy, your communication, all this improves. So in one word, let the Heartfulness techniques be the backdrop of everything that you are venturing into, especially in regard to the first 1,000 days. No amount of stress can be enough in bringing this message forward. And that is what has driven all the 3 teams together. So thanks to all the 3 teams and the leaders of those teams. And thank you most especially for all the participants who are here. Whatever your immediate reason for attending, may you all be conduits of this message and conduits of this positive, joyful energy forward to the rest of the people outside. Thank you all so much.
Dr. Pariplavi, I have a small thing.
Yes,
Gandhi, sir. Yeah.
Yes, I am Dr. Gandhi.
Yes.
First time I am coming across all you people from the Telangana Pediatric Association and Heartfulness Foundation. And I am indeed very, very happy. I must say, I must go on record with every one of you who have done a great job. Starting from Dr. Pawan Kumar, who has coordinated very well, because our team has been saying that we are able to fix the problem with Dr. Pawan Kumar. So Dr. Pawan Kumar, all that credit goes to you for making everything behind the screen very well. And Dr. Himabindu, I am very impressed with your talk. I'm really impressed with your talk, and I'm sure that we are trying to do something good and great. And why should we not go together and do something much bigger than what we are doing now?
Sure,
we are
sir.
with you, and we'll be going together. And this is just the beginning. And we'll have our journey together to go to greater heights. We
Thank
are
you
all
so
with
much.
you, and Genome Foundation will in all respect support you in all possible manner.
Thank you so much.
I just wanted to convey this message that Genome Foundation will be together with you, and in our journey together to reach the heights which you are planning to do. Both Pawan Kumar and Himabindu, I think you are keen to do a lot of good things. We are with you to do great things, not good things. Thank you all.
Our
And
entire
Pariplavi,
team, Mission Lakshya is there, sir. There is a team of 21 doctors behind this
I
program.
can understand the spirit with which both of you are talking. I can understand there are a lot of things in your mind, which is just in the stage of nation stage. We have to just come out and break. We have to disrupt the entire technologies to see that we reach out to the right people. As I think, what is that? She was quoting a lot of Dr. Sirisha, I think. She was quoting a lot of quotes from Vivekananda to Einstein to other people. That is all real truth, and we have to really live up to that expectations. And let us do that. With you, it is possible, and we'll join hands with you in a big way. Dr. Pariplavi, you have conducted the program very well, and I have seen your previous program also, and this time you have done exceedingly well. I think you have a lot of energy to do more work, and you have a lot of capabilities. We'll try to tap all the capabilities, and together we'll try to do a lot of good things.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
It's
all.
the heartfulness techniques that do it for us, and all of us. So,
Madam, I am sure that when powerful people like Gandhi sir joins this mission, I think it will definitely, it's like fuel to the fire. It will reach many people. Yes.
It will reach everyone.
We'll have a lot of e-certificate programs. Or once the COVID is over, we'll also have a physical programs also, very well structured, and it will be useful both to the parents. Why not we call the parents also and have a certificate?
Yes,
we can have one for would-be mothers. And in fact, those who are not able to make it also, because we find a lot of people who will try to become parents, but they're not able to make parents. Why not we have a session for them also?
Very well, sir. That's absolutely necessary. I think we should include that also, Pawan. Because parents struggling to conceive, I think we need to give some tips for them, how we can help them.
Especially software group and the group who are now working from 12 to 18 hours a day in search of materials, but missing the important thing, missing the babies.
There are already programs going on at the Heartfulness Institute for infertile couples who are not able.
Pawan, we should add this in the
We can all, join hands and take it forward. So I'd just like to draw the attention now. Sir, I'd just like to draw the attention of the participants.
Yes.
We are planning to carry on these sessions in a workshop mode. The link has been put up. I request Mr. Divya Darshan to repost the link as it has moved up. So the link for these workshops, please register at this link for the workshops. And these will be full-fledged sessions. And for those who are interested, we are even considering offering a certificate from all the three organizations together. And so that you can, carry the message forward even more efficiently. Yes. So, but please take it seriously with all seriousness of purpose, whatever your reason, whether it's for yourself or to carry the message forward. Yes.
And before I close,
it's not a playtime, pastime that, that you can just, peep in and go out. Today's session was an awareness information session. So today's session, you could have peeped in and gone out. We wouldn't have minded it. but entire hearts and souls are in the workshops that are going to come. We would urge you to participate in them sincerely, heartfully, with all your hearts, welcoming the new souls that are coming into the world within your family, within other families all around us. So let us give them a wonderful, environment to grow in at all levels. Yes, you were
Madam,
saying.
can I speak for 1 minute, madam? Is it?
Yes, sure, sure.
We at Heartfulness Institute, we have a lot of research studies and data. The impact of heartfulness meditation on heart rate variability and even the role of epigenetics. We're introducing meditation as a part of epigenetics, and there is change in gene modulation and also gene expression, and even there is a increase in telomere length, and a lot of data is there. So we can help the next new aspiring couple into the research and go in a methodical way how this really de-stress. This is an instrument for removing the stress and give them get the journey with a lot of clarity. So I think this meditation practices also can be taken as a part of research, and I think this is a good platform to express myself, that we can bring a best generation, as Himavindu Singh madam used to tell. We want best out of this. So
thank you, Dr.
I have a small suggestion.
Yeah,
the press people are asking, what is the summing up what we want to tell the readers, so that they would like to follow you, since we are doing a great job. So I'm able to see on the screen Pavan Kumar, Himabindu, Srisailam, and now Dr. Sirisha, and along with Pariplavi. Can you just take some time, and by tomorrow can you give us a summary of what we have achieved and what we have done and what we want to achieve? Can you just put up a small note to me so that I'll try to share it with the press?
Yes, surely, sir.
Yes, sir.
That will go a long way. That will go a long way for our journey.
The entire summary slides were meant for that, sir. Summary slides, I think you have seen, Dr.
No, I have seen, but you summarize.
Wants a report of this session.
Yes,
What I suggest is RSV and you can create a small report of what key messages, what we want to deliver, what we intend to do, and we can just show this. You can see the draft, you finalize, and by tomorrow afternoon or evening, is it okay, sir? We can send
it's okay by evening.
Of PATS and our pediatric body.
Yeah, Dr. Anita, I am also able to see Dr. Anita, who did exceedingly well. Maybe she will also add a few lines, and then
all of us.
Everyone's.
The key points of today, each section will be added, and we can prepare a small, report or small, capsule of what we intend to do through these programs, and we can, Pavan and RSV, please do that, and of course, all of us, we can have a look within ourselves, and then we finalize and give that to Dr. Gandhi. Sorry.
Yes.
Yes,
it will be nice.
Pavan, is it okay? Because all that things are ready, the points are there.
Yeah,
so,
points are ready. I think
Madam compiling them together.
Yes.
And even Anita, and she's time, so we can all do that. Tomorrow, by tomorrow, we can give you, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Anupama Reddy is also here there.
Yes.
I think put all your wisdom together and try to make it.
We have a WhatsApp group, and once Pavan and RSV gives us the draft, we all see something is missing, we just add, and then we can give you by tomorrow evening.
Excellent. I am very happy indeed. I am going to have a good sleep today. Instead of 8 hours, 9 hours.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for loving words. I would like to end this session by saying that, one generation, maybe 2 or 3 generations, they struggled for Indian freedom and freedom movement, and they got us freedom. If one generation of pediatricians and obstetricians and a collaboration with Genome Foundation, if it's not that sacrifice, but if you at least focus on these first 1,000 days, the next generation is going to be a very strong, smart, and intelligent, and also happy beings. We want a joyful beings. The joy is missing if you only just create an intelligent people. So the joyful, happy beings are the need of the hour. And how to create that, I think we are going to create this module to take like that, sir. Thank you so much. I request all the pediatricians and obstetricians and the key stakeholders in this journey to join together, join your hands, and let us create a great India. So the Great India movement is on. So let's join hands and create that momentum to take to new heights. Thank
Great
you so much.
humanity, Pavan.
Yeah, great humanity. Yes.
Humanity.
In short, yeah.
So, wisdom bridges, genetic bridges, everything, all. So if there is, if everyone permits, maybe close the session.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Thank
let
you
us
all.
all once again, let us all.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Yes,
So it was
with
very nice to
joy
see
and
Ramani
gratitude.
Madam and Gandhi sir, because we thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Pariplavi. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Let us all connect with our hearts once again before we silently leave the session. Yeah, with your permission, just make sure that your phones are on the silent mode. Sit comfortably with your eyes closed. Take a deep, slow breath in and out. Another deep breath in and out. Bring your attention to your heart. Feel the energy there. Now connect with the hearts of all the others in the session, including those that have left, those that could not attend today, and those that will be attending in the future. Connect with all the hearts. Make the suggestion that the purpose for which we have all attended this session has been achieved for each of us, for all of us, and for all those who will be coming in contact with all of us all our lives. With joy and love and gratitude in our hearts, let us quietly leave the session. We will have our immediate future communications through the WhatsApp groups. Thank you all very much. Mr. Darshan, we may close the session now.